Hi, I'm Stu. I'm a backpacker from England, travelling around southeast of Asia, currently in Vietnam on a small island called Phu Quy. There are a couple of myths and legends on this island, and I'm going to try and get around as much of the island as I can to see these places, and I'll also show you some other places as well. And I'm starting right here to go and try and get to that lighthouse just to get a view of the whole island. So the first place I'm heading for is basically a lighthouse up here, but as you look around it looks very military, and I'm not too sure if I'm meant to be here, but that's very steep if it's just a path going up. Let's go. As you find out more and more about this island, that Google Maps and any other map system you use is useless. This is a military area and I've just been told to get off the land. So I'm going to try and find out how to get up to the lighthouse the proper way. As I was leaving on the bike, I'm out of breath. A couple of the soldiers, and I found out it's soldiers' accommodation only because they asked me what I was doing, and when I said I want to go to the lighthouse, two of them said, "Come with me, Alice," and that's what they said, but I followed them anyway. So at the start of it, it's very rough track, and I was lucky enough to just follow the guy. Not the best route if you've got flip-flops like I've got. And then it went to stone steps, and this is where we are right now. This is not the highest peak, and that is the lighthouse, which doesn't look like a lighthouse to me. Oh. But yeah, don't wear flip-flops for coming up here, because there's the lighthouse. So there's Ho Chi Minh. That's a light, and there's the actual lighthouse. Now I don't know how much of a military area this is. I think the guys have already gone. They just sort of leapt and bounded all the way up. But there's a view. So beautiful and so green. Right, I'll have a wander look to the lighthouse. Now from the hostel I was given this book, which is a bit of a tourist guide to the island, written by the island themselves, and they said for this lighthouse it would be easy to get to, 200 steps to climb, but when you go into the maps online they give you different things to how to get there. As we climbed up the stone steps, I think one of the guys sort of motioned to say that the steps went further back, so there must be some sort of way of getting here. But when you look around, it's just a building site. There it is. Can we go over there? Right, I'm going to try and get over there. Just before I get to the lighthouse itself, this is the view from this side. Now just down there is a landing strip, but it's a military airport, so there is no civilian flights that come on this island. But I've just seen one of the guys that brought me up hiding in the bushes, so he's obviously trying to keep cool because it's a bit warm. I'm gonna lighthouse. Yeah. Time to get a selfie with them too before I leave. Right, it's up here. Oh, the wind's picked up. Now I'm being followed by a dog who keeps barking at me. But someone shot me. I'll shot the dog. So that's the lighthouse. Yeah, he was shouting at me. Basically, I'm not allowed to take videos or photographs of the lighthouse for some reason. So that's a short visit. Don't upset the military on the island. So it's going to be an easier trip getting down. Will he go down? Yeah, he's watching us. Right, how do I get down? Right, down. Is it that way? Oh, that way. Nope, they weren't the guys that brought me up. So this is a military place. Oops. And he's still watching us. And there's the stairs. Sitting behind me, two guys. One of them spoke a little bit of English, and I explained I was trying to get up to see the lighthouse, and he went, yeah, come. And I went, no, big boss says no. He went, yeah, okay, best leave. So this is going to be easier. So a little bit of history from the book about the lighthouse. It was built in, wait for this, 1997. So it's not really that old, and it hadn't got really a lot of history. But to see what I saw of the view, it wasn't too bad. And I guess if you are coming to this island, I would check with the hotel guest house that you're staying at whether you can come up or not. Don't just do what I do and just turn it randomly. So I've just left, and when I got to the bottom where the accommodation was for the soldiers, I had one of the guys came over, scared the living deal out of me because I was just reading the map. Asked me where I was from, what I was doing here. I had to get the tourist book to say, look, I'm just looking at the lighthouse. Very inquisitive. He was in military uniform, and I decided to get out of there very quickly. So let's go to the next stop. So I've come to the northeast of the island, and I've come away from the military. There is none around here, so I feel quite safe. And I'm right here. And this is, and I'm reading from the book here, the Princess Ban Tran temple. Now, legend has it that Princess Ban Tran was sent here as a punishment for a crime she committed as a young child by her father. And she came here and made this island prosperous. And when she died, they built a temple for her, which is this one here. So I'm going to try and get around it. Don't know if this is her tomb. So there are 3 communities on this island, and they each take turn every year to worship her, to honour her. I mean, it's all locked up, so I don't really think I can go in. So she is held in quite high esteem. Can we go in? Take my shoes off. Now I have no idea what the crime she committed. Oh wow. But to be banished by her father must have been quite severe. So the ceremony is held on the third day of the first lunar month of the year, and there is a big festival for her around here. But this is one of the many legends of this small island. Now just up there is the Khao-Kat mountain, and you can just see there is another temple up there. But I'm not going to go up there because I think there is military up there. Although this temple was built in the late 15th century, it has been damaged, repaired so many times that it's not really the original building, but still it's a legend. I've just ridden about 5 minutes down the road and right on the northeast edge of the island, and this is, turn the camera around, Monk Sinai's tomb. Let's have a wander in. You can tell it's a tourist spot because there's a women and it's very windy. So there are two legends that have been passed down by the Islander folk. According to the first one, Monk Sinai was a astrophysics from northern Vietnam, and he often travelled on merchant boats down here, and his tomb is right on the edge of that rock, and he just came by this island by chance when the crew decided to rest, and when he died he asked for his ashes to be buried here. That's the first legend. So when the sailors came along and in secret came down to these cliffs here to bury his ashes, or put his ashes here, next morning it was discovered by the local people to be full of fruit, tea, wine, pig and chickens all around here. So legend has it that this monk gave the islanders stuff they wanted. The second legend that has been passed down is that he was a tradesman, again North Vietnam, and he crash landed on his boat in the 16th century, and not only was he a tradesman, he was a medical person as well. He landed and he got to know the princess while she was on the island, and they became very close in a platonic way, and he helped a lot of the islanders with their medical ailments. And when he died, again he was buried here. So two legends, both have been passed down. So I'm going to have a look inside the tomb there, and then have a look to see if there is any markings for the monk. Surprisingly, this is the very first place that I've been to, apart from the sunrise I went to yesterday morning, that I've actually seen tourists come in this place. So I don't know if it's quite a popular place. I would be taking my shoes off, but nobody else is. down there is a abandoned military fortress, which we're going to go to in a bit. There's a few people inside doing some prayers, but this here date for 1665 inside. Quite old. I have come to the edge of the cliff, and there is a really worn path taking you down here, and everybody here is more interested in these abandoned military bunkers. So I think the tomb of the monk is that place there that I've just been to, because there is nothing in English and there is very little information. That might be in the rock face where the gifts to the islanders was given. Who knows? There is the festival to the monk, which is held on the 4th of April every year, and that is also the date that they transfer the worshipping of the princess to the next community for the following year. But I'm going to have a wander down to these military bunkers to see what it's all about. Now, I've been online about these things. All it says is these are a major tourist attraction on the island, and that is it. So I have no idea what war, who used them, because they don't look like bunkers to me. But there's 1, 2, 3, oh, there's lots of them. I mean, building them there, God. There seems to be a major Instagram photograph spot that all these lot are taken. I found some steps from behind us. The Monk's Tomb temple's just up there, so I thought I'd come have a closer look at these military bunkers. That's what it's listed as. And as you can see, there's a few local tourists. As I said, there is nothing online about these. I mean, I do find it fascinating, the fact that it's got so many tourists, and even there's a little dog with a coat on, and he's got a hat on as well, the dog. Wow. It would have been interesting to find out what it's all about. It would have been nice to have something in English or even Vietnamese that I could have translated. Right, time to leave and head to the next place. I am at the last place, and this is the biggest legend of the island that I am so fascinated with. Now, I'm just around the corner from the guest house that I'm staying in. The gates were locked, and there's a woman at the gate who's selling fruit, has rang a number, and some guy is coming round to let me into some of these buildings. Right, the legend. There are communities around Southeast Asia, islanders, that believe that the whale, as in the big fish, is a god, and they'll worship the whale. And I'm sure I saw something from the other side that in the 18th century a whale was washed up on shore onto this island, and they buried it. They gave a burial service for the whale, and the bones for it, I believe, is in there. That whale is now called great grandfather. All whales are known on this island as grandfather. and there is an English sign just down here. I don't want to go too far away from the gates in case this guy turns up, because I am so excited about seeing some bones of a whale. So there you go. The temple was built in the year of 1781 for respecting a whale and implementing the ceremonials regarding to the customs beliefs worshipping the whale of Phu Quy fishermen. Oh wow, there are over 70 skeletons of whales and others stored and adored. 2 main festivals are held yearly, taking place here. Praying spring on January the 10th to the 20th, and praying autumn, as well as the anniversary of the eldest whale on October the 15th of a lunar calendar. Now, because they've opened up especially for me, and the guy's going to come round, I don't know if I've got to give him some money. But I'm just going to wait out until he turns up. Right, I've been here about 10 minutes and I've just found the main doors for the exhibit, and I've just stood in the stone to get a closer look. There is a bit of reflection there. I don't know if you can see anything. So there are bones. Oh no, there's one without glass. Obviously I can't see, hopefully you can. And that seems to be the only place that's got no glass. Where is he? I want to have a look. 15 minutes and I'm still waiting. But this is the end I came in originally to try and get through the gates. But for a place that adores whales, isn't that a dolphin? I mean, even without looking through there, it's still fascinating that they see whales as something that should be adored. The fishermen believe they are protected by whales when they go out to sea to do their fishing. He's just turned up. Thank you. This way here. You speak English? No English. Right, this is, as I said, the entrance. Here's the man with the key. I was going to take my shoes off, but he's got his on. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my God. Is that, I really want to touch it, find if it's real bone or just plastic, but it just does look real. And then you've got, oh, why do I always trip? There's a whale. Trying not to get any reflection. Wow. And that is the great grandfather. This is the one this is the original one that landed in that date that was on the plaque. That is amazing. And there's another one. Again, reflection. Can we get this view? I'm just flabbergasted that this is not more well known Wow, 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 wow. One thing I didn't notice when I was looking at all these specimens on the side was they've got little plaques of what they actually are. So you've got that one, which is a false killer whale, caught 1846. Then you've got this one, which is a bottlenose dolphin, caught in 1821. When I say caught, they're usually drifted onto land. This one here is a spinner dolphin, 1828. And then this one is just a common dolphin, 1758. God, they're ancient. There's a box in there for donations, and I wanted to give it to him for letting me in. So I gave him 20,000 dong, and he's actually put it straight into the donation box. So bless him. It's very nice of him to turn up and let me in. Wow. So that was great grandfather, the whale, the original whale that was beached onto the sands of the island many years ago. Now on this Clutch Road, outside of the whale temple, you've got another temple there, another temple over there. Both have got their own legends and their own myths about them. But unfortunately, I've just bought some fruit to keep the women happy about photos of the guy. It's been a fascinating day, and there's so much history on this island, and it's a shame that nobody ever comes here. You should really try to get Vietnam and come to this island because it is beautiful. But that's it for the day. I am going to head back to the guest house. I'm going to chill. But if you've enjoyed this day, if you've enjoyed the myths, the legends, then all you got to do is press that like button. If you want to subscribe, because tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going snorkeling. This place is one of the best places in Vietnam for snorkeling because of the coral around here. So if you want to see that, press subscribe. But until the next time, bye bye for now.